All right. It looks like my hair's a mess. That's what it looks like. Um, Hello, everyone on YouTube. Can you guys hear me? Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I see movement of the little dots here. So hopefully that works out. 5x5. Thank you, Scott. Appreciate that 5x5. Welcome in, Scott. Welcome to all of our friends over here on TikTok. YouTube is in the house. Scott is here. Kane Corso, welcome, my friend. Here to Gospel Warrior Roundtable Live tonight. Welcome in. I want to give a special welcome to Salt Mist over here on YouTube. She is my moderator there. And Scott is in the house. I think there's just a few of us here tonight. Hopefully everybody will start coming in. Hope Glenn's okay. Glenn's usually here about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just saying. he's a dedicated guy. Awesome. Okay, so I have some things that I want to share with you guys tonight. I want to talk about, and I'm so glad that we actually are here on a Monday. You know, I don't know about you, but I usually always say that Mondays come really fast, but this Monday today, I mean, last week was, man, it was a long week, right? To me, I felt like it was a really long week, and I feel like all the things that have been happening has contributed to that long week. Um, so yeah, let's see. He was acting. What are you talking about? Let's see. Okay, I'll catch up with what you guys are saying later. All right, so it's been a long week. Today was a very long day for me at work. I was busy from the moment I got there till even after it was time for me to leave. So um, very long day, and I'm just so glad to be home. I came home, and my wife and I had dinner, and that was fun. We had a long weekend over the weekend, and it's been a good it's been a long week. So I'm glad you guys are here tonight. So if you're new to the show, I always start off with our channel news, and I do that because this channel is really not about me. This channel is about you guys. You guys. Hey, thanks for the gifts over here. Um, it's all about you guys, and so you guys make this channel, and I always want to thank you by telling you what you do, right? So over on YouTube today, as of today, and I have a phenomenal thing that happened too, along with all of this. So y'all are gonna be freaking out. Okay, so YouTube, we're sitting at 837 subscribers this week, or this last week. We went up 9 new subscribers there. Over on TikTok world, we are sitting at 3,768 followers on TikTok. We are up 15 from last Monday, so thank God for that. Facebook stayed the same. Facebook community stayed the same. X, we're sitting at 10,000. We're sitting at 1,049. And we're actually down 3. So I don't know if 3 people just kind of like deleted their channel or what. I don't know. Kind of weird. But we're down 3. So, I'll take the down. It's okay. We go up and down in life, right? I'll take the down. All right. So here's the kicker. There's been this war between YouTube and Instagram, right? God's Prepared Warrior YouTube channel and God's Prepared Warrior Instagram page. And so the people over on Instagram said, we're going to beat YouTube and we're going to surpass YouTube. I've been warning YouTube that, hey guys, we need to share this community. And today, Instagram is at 836 followers on God's Prepared Warrior page on Instagram. So they are one shy of tying with YouTube, and two shy of surpassing our YouTube subscribers. So, I don't know if this is a real thing that's happening or what, but Instagram has come in clutch, and they are one subscriber away from meeting up with the YouTube subscribers. So just throwing that out there. You guys are awesome. You guys are the ones that make this channel. And I just love coming here and talking to you about it, right? It's really fun. So grand total this last week of new subscribers to all of the channels that we have here. We have 50 new subscribers, followers, however you want to look at it. We have 52 new over this last week. So that's really neat. Now, I'm gonna chime in here a little bit about my weekend, because most of you know that I was invited to a guild in trying to think, Center Point, Texas, here in Texas, and I was asked to speak about urban preparedness at this guild, and it was really neat. This was my ever first outing outside of the screen, and in real life, right? And so me and my best friend Joe, we went and we put together a booth, a God's Prepared Warrior booth, and I would like to say thank you to a lot of people who kind of helped chip in for that booth. So my daughter and my son-in-law, want to thank them because they actually bought my flag that's sitting there on the couch behind me. If you can see that there, you guys over there on TikTok, that flag is sitting over there. And let's see, my friend from work, Lucas, he put together a kind of like a I don't know what you want to call it. Well, it's a video of he's taken some of my stuff that I've done on YouTube, and he's taken it, cut it up, and he's put it in this cool background. And him and I worked on a few songs with AI to create a theme song, I guess. And so he chose one of, I think, 5 or 6 that we put together, and it came out really, really cool. So I don't think I've posted that out yet. I might have, I'm not sure, but tonight I'll post it or repost it, however that looks, so that way you guys can check it out. Hi, Shelly. Welcome to the live tonight. So anyway, it was really neat. Okay, so I was supposed to speak at 2:00. So when I got there, I was told that my time was moved to 4:00 because the 4:00 guy had to leave early, and so I got kicked out further, right towards the end, because it only lasted till 5. And so it was really awesome at the very beginning, because we got there probably around 10, maybe a little after, and so we set up the table, and I didn't have like a plan. I didn't have a plan. And so my only thought was, I'm going to set up the table, and I'm going to put the flag on the front of the table, because I didn't want to put it on the canopy. So I draped it kind of on and hanging off the table where you could see the logo there, right? And then what I did is I had some camouflage. It's a camouflage thingy. I have it back here. Anyway, it's netting, camouflage netting. And so I threw that on top. And then what I did was I took my comms bag, the Frankenstein one that I made, and I have a video on my YouTube channel. For those of you over on TikTok, go to my YouTube channel to see God's Prepared Warrior Frankenstein comms bag. And so anyway, I took that and I took out my GMRS radio, my ham radio. I took out my GMRS mobile radio, set that up. I took out the Jackery, had the Jackery up there. I took out my my smaller radio to listen to, radio and stuff like that. Took that out, and then what else did I take out? I had my go bag, and I actually changed it and to a gray man go bag, and so that's pretty cool because I was going to utilize that in my talk. And so anyway, so I had all of that set up on the table. I didn't have an idea or plan what we were going to do at the booth, right? I was just going to say, hey, I'm Fernando, God's prepared warrior, right? Just like I say on every video in the morning. And so that was the plan. And so, we got there, people started coming in, and they started looking at all the other booths. There was a booth that had baked goods. There was a candle booth. There was the booth that was run by the main person. They had their booth there. There was a ham radio booth, and we were right next to it because I'm GRMRS. And so they thought, well, let's put both of them together. That way they can both talk about their thing. And so that's what she did. We set up our booth, and then across there was a herbalist, and then there was a composting lady next to us, and then there was a kids corner way on the other side. And so so it was really neat. Then they had the two tents where the speakers were going to speak, right? And so in the morning, from 10 o'clock till up to 3 o'clock, there was a lot of people coming in and out, and so people were coming by. And here's the neat thing: people came to our booth and they wanted to know about radio, and so I talked to them about radio. That was God's plan. Talk to them about radio. And so I have this one guy that I met. His name is Mike. I don't know if he's going to watch this or not. But Mike came to the table, and he was telling me that, he loves radios. He just don't know how to use them. And he said he was part of a group, and the guy that teaches radio kind of like teaches so high level that he just wants a class to show him how to turn on the radio, right? That's what he was telling me. And so, being the person that I am, I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to give you my phone number, and we're going to talk, because he doesn't live too far from me, and we're going to talk. We're going to get together, and I'm going to show you how to work your radio, right? And so he was really moved by that, and he took the offer, took down my phone number. And here's the neat thing: he thanked me for doing that, right? And he said, nobody's ever done that. And I said, you know what? I said, if you know my channel, it's all about helping people, and that's what I want to do. So, like I always say every week, if you have a question, Fernando, how do I start prepping? Fernando, what do I put in my pantry? Fernando, how do I work my radio? Send me an email, godspreparedwarrior@gmail.com, so that I can help you and maybe put you on a path to where you can get those questions answered, okay? So I will help in any way. So in all of this of meeting people were like, what's your YouTube channel? I shared with them. This is why we probably had the 9 to 10 people that have added us or have followed us on YouTube. And so I am super thankful for this opportunity that God gave me to come do this thing. Now, because my schedule was moved from 2 o'clock to 4, by 3 o'clock, people started leaving, right? And there was nobody for me to share all about urban prepping. So I didn't get to do that. But towards the end, the guy that spoke at 2 came to our booth, and he's another preparedness group in Kerrville, Texas, where all the flooding happened, right? And so he came over to the booth, and I shared with him who I am and what I do and why we're there today. And I shared with him about radios because he asked me. I showed him my Meshtastic device. He was just blown away by that. And he says, we have a meeting coming up this Saturday, and I really would love for you to come and join our group, but I don't know if there's a table. He said, I'll get back with you. And if there's a table, I want you to be there Saturday so you come speak to our community. And so, I talked to him about how prepping in my world is all about physical and spiritual and how the two work together, right? And so he really loved the idea. And so, I don't know. We'll find out, hopefully, the next couple of days, if I'm going this weekend to set up our booth in Kerrville. So I don't know. We'll see. But I wasn't mad that I didn't get to speak. I was probably glad because this was my first time to be able to speak in front of somebody live on this topic, right? We go to church. You want me to preach a sermon? I'm good. I'll do it. Here behind the camera and the microphone, I'll do it. But when it comes to live people, I'm like, man, I don't know. So, but the Lord, there wasn't for naught, right? Even though I didn't get to speak, but I met a whole lot of people, and a whole lot of people came through looking for help and answers. And, that was, oh my God, it was just so much fun. So that was this weekend, and it was a step of faith for me to move into that space of doing it in front of live people, talking to live people right in front of me. And I was afraid, I did have one person walk by the booth and say, oh, another prepper. I loved on that lady, I said, I told her it's okay. I don't bite. So she's like, oh, well, my husband will love what you do. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Where is he? So it was a pretty awesome day, getting to meet a lot of new people. And just the conversations, I had with them, it was just really, really cool. So I'm praying that I get to actually go to Kerrville this weekend. If that would be awesome, because that's on a whole nother level. The guy was telling me that the group out there is bigger, and they actually rent a building to do their meeting. So yeah, that's kind of scary, but we'll see. We'll see what God has in store, right? So yeah. I'm excited about that. Let's see. What am I missing over here? We were last night, but didn't get this chili. It's a salt miss. Rest. Go. Ready for the cold? Yeah. Who's not ready for the cold? What do you mean, salt miss? You haven't left the cold. We're ready for the cold. Trust me. That's funny. Y'all are talking about cold. Y'all are crazy. You need to come to Texas, and then you'll love your cold. Hey, Aaron, welcome in. You're not late. You're good. You're good. I was just talking about my weekend. So that is what happened this weekend. And I just have so many people to thank who helped me get ready for this weekend. My daughter, her husband, and my friend Lucas, all came together. My best friend Joe took me. We drove together. And so it was a lot of fun. We both had a lot of fun. It was, hot. It wasn't cold. But we were in the shade under the cedar trees. And of course we had our canopy. So, but it was still warm. But yeah, so that was this weekend. So I'm excited. Keep praying for next weekend, Lord willing. If not, there's always next year, because they meet once a year. So, and then this one that I went to, they do it twice a year. Next one is in March, and she's already invited me for that. So I'm excited about that. That is so cool. Code Red Trauma, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by tonight. I'm glad you're here. So yeah. All right, so let's look at some stuff. I did pull some stuff for us to look at and think about tonight. I got an email. I get this White House newsletter in my email. So if you guys want news and information from the White House, just go to the whitehouse.gov, sign up for the newsletter, and you'll get the newsletter. That's where I get it from. So just in this newsletter, I thought it would be fitting to read some of the things that um, the Trump administration is doing. So the first thing on the list here is President Trump signed a memorandum on making Memphis safe and designated Antifa as a terrorist organization before leaving for the United Kingdom. So that was what, last week, beginning of last week. So um, he signed that. He signed that executive order, and which is a good thing, because if Antifa decides to uh, rage and pillage the cities, there'll be a force to really fight them, 100%. So he posted that out today. Um, Another thing, it says that under President Trump, mortgage rates have fallen to a 3-year low. My mortgage has gone up, so yeah, I think they're really increasing more than really going down, right? Um, so he posted that out today. Narco terrorist says that U.S. forces have conducted another targeted strike on narco terrorists, saving countless Americans. I did see another post today saying that another country, I can't remember who it was, went down, found the wreckage of that boat that was destroyed, and they did find lots of cocaine at the bottom. So who knows, right? That's going on. So yeah. Um, so that's from the newsletter. If you guys get that, you can actually sign up for free for that if you want it. All right. Another thing, Hurricane Gabriel strengthens into a hurricane. So this hurricane is really, if you've seen the path to this hurricane, it looks like it is actually headed towards Florida, the last picture I saw. And so it's upgraded now to a hurricane. And we just need to be paying attention for that, because it is going to come alongside the U.S. East Coast from North Carolina northward to um, Atlantic Canada So just keep an eye out on that. The winds increase in this storm near 75 miles per hour, and it is moving pretty rapid. So keep an eye on that. All of you who are on the East Coast, where it's cold, lucky y'all. Stay safe, really. All right. The On the Army's page, it says that Oregon Guard supports mass casualty training exercises. This was the 19th that this was posted. So Oregon National Guard are participating in mass casualty training exercises. So I can tell you already that that is something to watch out for, right? It's why should we watch out for that? Well, because if the military is training their troops for things that we haven't seen in forever, it's important for us to pay attention to that thing, right? So they're mobilizing the National Guard in Oregon. This is not everywhere. This is Oregon, but not too long ago, I also talked about a mass casualty training in another place. I can't remember if it was somewhere else, but I do remember talking about that and using this as something for us to watch out for. Okay, so just know that that's happening. Over on military.com, Pentagon steps up media restrictions, now requiring approval before reporting even unclassified information. The Pentagon says that it will require credentialed journalists at the military headquarters to sign a pledge to refrain from reporting information that has not been authorized for release. You would think that this would have been done like a long time ago. Hey, thank you for the hearts, guys. Because that should happen, right? I mean, but now they're actually doing this, and they're making them sign um, a um, uh, a pledge. So journalists who don't abide by the policy risk losing credentials that provide access to the Pentagon under a 17-page memo distributed Friday that sets up the media restrictions imposed by the administration of President Trump. So the Pentagon is locking down on their reporters. Why? Well, because misinformation, leaks, things like that have been coming out, right? And so they're trying to get a hold of all of that. So something to watch out for real. That's important. The next one is Israeli strike in Lebanon kills 4 U.S. citizens, including 3 children. An Israeli drone strike in the southern Lebanese town of Bit Jabal killed 5 people, including 4 members of one family who held U.S. citizenship, according to Lebanese officials. 3 of the victims were children. So Israel continues to pummel these places over there where they are. So let's keep this in prayer. This is a huge thing, and truly, let's point it to God. ABC News is reporting that Trump heads to UN General Assembly as the future of the Palestine state and Gaza likely to dominate the conversation. So President Trump and foreign world leaders will meet this week at the United Nations General Assembly, and where Trump is expected to deliver the first address of his second term to the annual gathering of global leaders on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. Though Trump will largely be isolated from more than half of the member nations and key allies over the war in Gaza. So all eyes are going to be on Trump. So this is something to watch. Actually, it was live earlier today. I think it began today. And there were some people talking on it on my way home. I didn't get to watch all of it because I got on the phone. But if you are on TikTok, they are actually posting all of this stuff live on TikTok. So just got to go find it. So that's in the news. That's all of this week. So pay attention to that. You might also see it live on YouTube as well. There was an earthquake in San Francisco today in the Bay Area. It was a 4.3 magnitude earthquake that rocked San Francisco today. More than 22,000 people report feeling early morning quake, which occurred southeast of Berkeley. So let's keep this area in prayer for all those people affected by that. I can't even imagine what that feels like or ever been through that. So that would be scary to me. So let's keep these folks in prayer over in San Francisco. They need prayer. Let's keep them in prayer. All right, one more. I thought this was interesting, and I think it's pretty good to think about too. Elk hunters found dead in southern Colorado were killed by lightning, coroner says. These guys were outdoors hunting, and they were struck by lightning while they were hunting. Really young guys. These guys, I believe, were really young. Let's see. I thought I saw an age, but maybe not. Yeah, so these guys were hunting. They got struck by lightning. I thought that was interesting because hunting season here in Texas starts October 1st, and it's just important for all of us who are hunters, me included, that we practice hunter safety. And guys, just really be paying attention to what's happening when you go, right? I found a White House memo that has come down from the White House from President Trump. It says that they are designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. I know we got that in the newsletter from the White House, but I actually have the actual presidential action here. So I will post this link. I'm going to keep it here. I'm not going to move it away. I'm going to post this link in probably on YouTube and all my social media. I'll put the link so you guys can check that out later. I think that's an important thing for you to read. And then lastly, Russia, Vietnam use energy profits to avoid possible U.S. sanctions for arms deals. So Russia and Vietnam have developed a backdoor method of concealing arms deal payments to avoid American and other Western sanctions. Using the profits for joint oil and gas ventures to pay off defense contracts without any open transactions of cash. So, guys, we are moving closer and closer to war. Other countries are teaming up with the other side, and they are making deals like this, and they are signing on the dotted line with Russia, and things are mounting. Last bit of news: Russia's brazen NATO airspace violations head to UN Security Council. So, the United States Security Council will hold an emergency meeting that was today to discuss Russian fighter jet incursions into NATO member airspace, which was Estonia. And the Estonian government and the UN said today. This is important, guys, because NATO countries have reported several such violations in recent weeks. European leaders warn that the incursions are calculated escalations of Russian President Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine. So the war drums are clamoring for war. And just keep an eye, guys, on that. I see that, just coming up. Hey, John, welcome to tonight's live. I'm glad you're here. I was just talking about Mike earlier today. John, thank you for, he sent me the text that you sent to him when you said, hey, check out Fernando. He's going to be up there. And so he actually forwarded your text to me. So I thought that was cool. So, hey, John, welcome to the live tonight. So, we're going to keep praying for that, right? All of these things are happening, and we know that God is in control, right? We do not prep on this channel out of fear. We trust in the Lord. The Lord is the one who guides us. Mike is a good friend. Yeah, he actually has become my good friend. And I'm going to walk him through some stuff. So he has my number, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. So we're trusting God in all of this, right? We know that the Bible tells us that there's going to be war, and we're going to hear of wars, and all these things, right? And so we already see it happening. So we shouldn't fear, because we already know what's going to happen. If you read to the end of the book of Revelations, you know that we win. So I'm not worried. And, if I get taken out, I know where I'm going. I'm just saying, as the Lord is my witness, I will be in heaven, walking the streets of gold. And yeah, I'm excited for that. All right, so let's move into the next segment for tonight. I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I want to talk to you about the power of unity. I want to talk about unity because there's something I learned this weekend being out at the festival. I'm sorry, the prepping event that I attended, and I saw unity where I was, and so that brought joy to my heart to see people working together, and that's what I loved about this weekend. So I kind of want to talk about the power of unity in um, in hard times, right? So the scripture I want us to look at tonight is Colossians 3:14. It's really short, and I shared this with my team today in our Bible study at work, and it is Colossians chapter 3 verse 14 that says, "Above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds all together. It binds us all together in perfect harmony." Now, I want you to know that that is actually what I saw this weekend at this event, and I as the Lord led me to this scripture on Sunday, you know, I thought about this. It says, "Above all, clothe yourself with love." Can you imagine if every Christian, every God-believing person, clothed themselves every single day with love? I think we would see a different world, right? Um, that was just my thought. If that was if that was a possibility for all of us, um, to be in that way. So here's what I want to talk about, right? I want to I want us to know that what's happening in the United States is a real thing, right? We are seeing political division, right? The United States is actually divided. It is divided, right? Um, it's divided right now politically. We're seeing lots and lots of violence, right? Um, I mean, it's almost every day. That's why I said this last week was really, really tough, right? Um, and so it's really hard to see that. Hold on, give me a second. All right, let's see. Let's see if this is better. Tell me, guys, if this is better for you guys on YouTube. Can you guys see me? Um, good. Okay. All right. So we're seeing a lot of this happening in. Okay. Thank you, Shelley. We're seeing a lot of this happening, right? Lots of violence, lots of unrest, right? Um, you know, the enemy thrives on division. Our enemy thrives on division, and I think it's important for us to understand that Christ calls his people to unity. The world wants division. The enemy is clamoring to the world for division, but Christ wants us to be in unity, right? We're not here to debate sides, right? That's not what we're here for today. We're here to stand together as God's prepared warriors in love, truth, and purpose, because Christ calls us to unity. Thank you, Scott, for the 5x5. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. Salt mist, it's the cold. That's why you haven't had any issues. So, division is a weapon of the enemy. And man, are we seeing that division big time here in the United States, right? But I want you to remember that Christ is our common ground, right? Our ultimate alliance is not to a political party, a group, or a cause. It is to Jesus Christ. That is where our alliance must be, right? Ephesians 2:14 says, "For Christ himself has brought peace to us. He united Jews and Gentiles into one people." And when we put Christ first, right, secondary differences don't divide us because we put Christ first, right? Hello, Fernando. Moonsprout, hello. In chat, I met you in Bandera. Yes, I remember. Yes, you were next to us, next to the ham group. Thank you for joining us tonight. So the question I have is, how can we show the world that Jesus is the banner that we rally under, right? Because here's the thing: unity makes us stronger. That's what I saw this weekend, and it was a neat thing. Moonsprout will tell you. This was my first time ever in this place, and I saw people working together, and that was so beautiful to me. And I think that this idea of unity makes us stronger, and we can strive to overcome the things in our world by being united, right? Practical ways to live in unity, right, is to pray for each other. Even if we disagree, we should pray for each other. That's an important thing. We should refuse to let offenses take root, practice forgiveness quickly, right? I don't know if you guys saw Charlie's wife this weekend over his memorial. She actually forgave the person that killed her husband, and that takes a lot, right? And we should refuse to let offense take root and practice forgiveness quickly. I think that's so important and what is truly needed in our world today, right? We should serve one another, right? Love in action. Love in action strengthens bonds, right? We should speak life to people. We should encourage people. We should love on people, right? No, we shouldn't curse people, right? But we should want to help other people. And I think that was just the neatest conversation I had with Mike there at the event over the weekend. And he was really encouraged speaking with us. And so he shared with me John's text to me about me being there. So we should stand firm together against cultural pressures that tries to silence the truth, right? The truth is the thing that sets us free. That's John chapter 8, verse 32, right? But we should stand together against cultural pressure and that tries to silence the truth, right? So here's a question. Think about it. What practical steps can we take this week to live out unity in our families, in our churches, and in our communities? We need each other, guys. This lone wolf mentality of preppers. There's some preppers that say, well, when poop hits the fan, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna do it on my own. I get that. I understand the meaning behind all of that, but the truth and reality is we were built for relationships, and even in times of crisis, we need each other. And so this is why community is so important. Moonsprout says 100% unity, right? That is correct. And so I truly believe that that's how we win. Even if poop hits the fan, right? We win because we are united together. We win. Think about it. If you lose a family member, how do you get over that? By everyone coming together and lifting that person up, right? Encouraging them that they're not alone. They may feel alone in the loss, but if we're there unifying one another and in unity together, we're there to help each other. How better is that person if they were just left alone, right? Unity is something that we all need to have. I think that's very important. We have to stand together, right? I just think that these are the ways that we can um, be ready for anything, right? Because you guys will know me, those of you who are new, that when I talk about poop hitting the fan, it can be anything. It can be loss. It can be I lost my job. That's a poop hitting the fan situation. Um, what if it is poop hitting the fan, right? We're still going to need each other, right? And you can watch it, you can see it in every movie that's created, right? About situations like that, right? Take for example The Walking Dead. There were a few people that that did it alone. They didn't make it, right? They were either overran by another group, or they were just taken out by the walkers. But you saw the communities thrive when they were together. And so I just think that this weekend kind of has given me an even greater perspective on doing life together in the preparedness space, and how important it is for us to prep in that way. So I'm going to do a deep dive on this question for myself: is how do I prepare with a community, right? How do I create a mag? Because I've been wanting to do that here where I live, and just get together with a bunch of friends and put all of this together and package it and then share it with everyone else. This is how you do this, and go do it. Right? Create community where you are, and let's build it together, right? So I'm gonna take a very deep dive into that in the next couple of weeks and start putting that together, because I think that's just important for us as preppers to think about, right? Because you have your family. I was talking with someone at work today, and he's like, Fernando, what does prepping look like to you? And I said, well, it's simple, because I knew where he was going. I said, it's simple. I am preparing for my family, and it's my family that God has given to me, and I am a good steward of what God has given to me, and I'm going to take care of them. And it's like everyone else who has talked to me about this says, well, don't you trust God that He's going to provide for you? And then I say, well, are you telling me to just sit at home, not go to work, not do anything, and God is going to provide for me? And then they think about it, and I'm like, look, God has given us blessings in our life. And those blessings that God has given to us, we got to take care of those blessings, right? We got to make sure that if I have a wife and three kids, it's my job to take care of that family. It's my job to provide for them. Now, as I'm working, the Bible says that if you don't work, you don't eat, right? So as I'm working as unto the Lord. And so I'm thankful and I'm happy for my job. And I'm going to do my job because God has given me two hands to do this, right? And so I'm going to do that thing. And God, in all of that, is going to send blessings my way because I'm trusting the Lord with all of my heart, not trusting Fernando, and he is guiding my steps. So if God is in the middle of my life, my relationship life with my wife, in the relationship life with my kids, if God is in the middle of all of that, God is going to bless and prosper that. And so in the preparedness space, it is my responsibility as a husband, as a father, to do that role. And yes, I trust in the Lord that he's going to provide. As I work, he provides my work. As I work, he provides the knowledge I need to do my job, to keep my job, right? And so the answer today to him was that's how I see preparedness is I am doing my part physically and I'm doing the other part spiritually. And this is why on my channel, I say you got to have the two. They got to work together because when they work together, that means you're doing your part. You're taking care of what God has placed in your life. And then you are also walking that spiritual walk with God. And so he was telling me today he was really excited about what I'm doing. And so yeah, so this is why I say we have to have unity. John Plato says groups thrive under pressure. They do. Why? Because there's a need and it needs to be met in under that pressure, and people will work together to do it. So community is important, and I really truly believe that we truly need each other. We need to take down the walls of this is who I am, this is what I know, and let's just take people and teach them everything so that we're all in the know and we're all walking the same path and we're not trying to outdo anyone. I don't try to outdo anyone. I'm just who I am. And, I am blessed every day by God. And I look at those things and I thank Him for it. And I hope you do the same because we need each other, right? And I need you guys, and you guys need me. That sounds kind of weird, but that's what it is. And so if there's ever a situation, we're going to need community, right? If we lose a family member, even if the family is estranged from each other, somehow or another, losing a family member brings a family together, right? I've seen it happen. I mean, I'm a pastor. I've done many funerals, and I've seen God work miracles through that. Yeah, and on the onset of this, it's kind of scary because you've just gone through a loss, and humanly speaking, you're hurting, and that's totally understandable. But at the same time, God is doing a miracle work. We may not see it at the beginning, but later on, we're going to see God's mighty hand uh, in all of that. So, um, guys, thank you for hanging with me. I just wanted to share that with you guys about unity today. And I think that, looking at the events that have come, that I think we need to really, 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 really draw closer to one another in unity. I think that's going to be something very important later on in the future when poop hits the fan, right? So hope that kind of brings peace to you guys today, and not fear, because we don't do things out of fear here on this channel. We do things out of faith, and we trust God in all of it. So yeah. So tomorrow I will post out the devotional, and it will go out to your email. If you guys haven't subscribed to my on my webpage. It's in the description of this video that you're watching on YouTube. Go to the website. It's a free website. And go to the contact page and fill out the information. And I will send to you every Monday, with the exception of today because I was super busy. Every Monday morning, you should receive the devotional to start out for your week really good. And this topic today that I'm talking with you was kind of based off that devotional. So that comes out on Mondays, and then on Tuesdays I write my blog, and that comes out Tuesday morning. So make sure you go to my website and fill out. All you're doing is you're giving me your name. You don't have to give me your last name, just so that I can, when I email you back, I can email you your name and use your name. And I will send you, and I need your email so that I can send you those on Monday and Tuesday, because if not, then you got to wait till Thursday and Friday when I post them out on social media. So I would rather you start out your week on Monday with the devotional. So go to the website, fill that out. It's super simple, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go to Facebook if you're on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook at God's Prepared Warrior. And also, I am doing my members page on the groups page of Facebook. So I'm going to be doing different stuff in there here pretty soon. So make sure you go to that. It's called God's Prepared Warrior Community on the groups tab. So go to groups and look up God's Prepared Warrior Community and join us there, because that's where our members stuff is going to come out of. And it's going to be free. All you have to do is go and answer those 3 little questions and say, I'm here. And all of that's going to be free. I don't plan to charge people for that. So yeah, so go there and sign up for all our social media. We're on almost every platform. All the links are in the description. Guys, thank you for hanging with me tonight. Scott, you're welcome. Moonsprout, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you next Monday right here on the live at 9:00. Thank you, Salt Miss, for being here with us. John Plato, thank you for joining us tonight. Shelly, thank you for joining us. And look forward to Code Red Trauma. Thank you for joining us tonight. And hope to see you guys next Monday when I go live again. So have a good night, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. God's Prepared Warrior out. See you later.